I'm still kind of like not in the podcasty mood or like, you know, the vibe.
It's okay. The podcast train stops for no one. Continues to roll on every week, every goddamn week.
Except when you just like randomly decide that you don't want to do it.
Sometimes
like one day.
Sometimes, yeah.
Like yesterday.
I have that a power and authority, but no one else does. Yeah. I'll get upset if anyone else tries to yield that power. I skipped yesterday just because I was like, we'll get it done. You know, as long as we do one a week, we're good. They can come out any time in the week. We typically would try to record these every Tuesday, and then I usually don't get them up until Wednesday or Thursday. I still haven't edited the second Bait Buffet episode from earlier this week. It's like Thursday. But I'll get to it. It's like 3 tracks of tracks. It's like 3 channels of audio that I have to do, so it's even more work.
Yeah.
But I've heard of this device that Keshan recommended that manages the peaks and valleys of the audio waveform automatically. So I'm looking into that, so I won't have to do all this editing post-pod.
Nice. That'd be lit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would save a lot of time.
I'm 32 weeks pregnant.
Nice.
I'm like looking really big.
Yeah.
I feel huge.
Looking really big, babe.
Yeah.
Looking pretty massive.
Literally. Got
your own orbit.
I've been feeling him move like while I am standing up now. And that like freaks me out today. I was like, what's going on? Because usually I only feel him move when I'm like sitting or lying down. But he's like so big that I can just feel him like whenever he moves. So I was like, whoa.
Yeah, there's like a little active volcano going on inside there.
Yeah.
It's a little petri dish full of exciting.
Like a really massive petri dish.
Yeah, exciting. Situations.
Yep.
Yeah. Our little bundle of joy is going to enter the world soon.
I don't know if Luna knows. I have like no idea if she understands or how much she understands about, you know, like that there's a baby in my belly and like her little brother is going to be here soon or whatever. We talk about it a lot. You know, but I don't know if she really is retaining or absorbing any of that information, but she gives my belly kisses like all day. Like she'll just like randomly come up to me and like she'll smile really big and like she'll like hug my belly and like touch my belly and stuff, like really happy, and like just gives it kisses. And then I'm like, oh, like that's so sweet, like you're giving your little brother a kiss, like there's a baby in there. So I don't know if like she really, I don't know, maybe she just catches the vibe that there's a baby in there.
She's known for doing new and exciting like sweet things.
Yeah,
like recently she started grabbing our hands and like pulling us to places.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she wants us to come in like a different room with her or something, or somewhere in some other area. She'll grab your hand and just like pull you.
Yeah. She'll
it's
like,
really funny.
If I'm like sitting or lying down, she'll like come over to me and like demand that I like stand up and come with her. She'll like put her hand out and be like, like.
I love that. And you can't.
No, you have to go.
Yeah, you have to go.
Yeah.
I also like how she like blows on every flower, because we taught her how to blow on dandelions and make the seeds, you know, fly away.
Mm-hmm.
So she just thinks that's like protocol, like standard protocol for every flower.
Yeah.
Just to blow on it.
Yeah, every flower. She's like, she tries to blow on it. It's so
super cute. Yeah. Yeah, she's great. Yeah, I wish I could spend more time with her, but
yeah, I literally feel bad for every other person on the planet who's not me.
Yeah.
Because I get to spend all day with Luna.
Yeah, I want to spend more time with her, but I've been really busy recently with this gig I got for this company. I guess I can't really talk about it, but I probably could, but I don't know. It's probably not worth it just in case. But basically, it's just like a gig for this like big company, and I'm doing like a promotional video for like inside the company, so it'll only be viewed by like people who work there. So it's not the most exciting gig, but it pays well, and I'm working on it with Keshin, so that's cool. But yeah, it's got a really tight deadline, and there's a lot to be done, so I'm just like working constantly for the next like 4 weeks, or I guess 3 weeks now. But yeah, I submitted the animatic, the boards on Monday, and they haven't gotten back to me yet. It's Thursday, so I'm going to send them a follow-up email tomorrow and be like, hey, you know, in order to get this video done to the highest degree, possible, to the highest quality possible, we need as much time. Like, I'm sure they know that, but just kind of a reminder, like, hey, we need these approved at least by the end of the week. Like, if there's notes, I'm sure there's always notes. We got to implement those changes into the boards and lock the animatic so we can actually begin wholeheartedly on the animation. We've already started on some shots that we know we'll most likely need for sure, but it's all kind of up in the air right now, so it'd just be good to like lock it down and start the grind. But yeah, I got a shot done today, and I built a lot today for it, a lot of Legos, and yeah, Keshin's doing a great job. So yeah, just been busy. I haven't been able to hang out with Luna as much as usual, as much as I'd like.
Yeah, sad.
Yeah.
We put her in her own room recently as kind of like preparation for the new baby. And the first night went like extremely well, like extraordinarily well, like unexpectedly great. But every night since then has been like rough. And yeah, like the first night she slept in there for like 11 hours straight. And then like the next night she would like wake up at like, she slept in there for maybe 3 hours. Then she woke up and was like really, really sad. So we just like brought her into our bed. And then the same thing happened the night after that. And so today we actually like swapped her bedroom and playroom rooms. And that was cool. I think that'll make it easier because she's more familiar with her playroom, or like what used to be her playroom is now her bedroom. She spent like way more time in there, and it's closer to our room, which I like. It makes me feel like she's like closer and like safer. So
yeah, it's just the next room over.
Yeah,
it really shouldn't make any difference at all, but maybe it will.
Yeah, like I even felt kind of weird like putting her to bed in that room, because that used to be like what we would call the room of requirement, which it was like our storage area for like the last like 6 months or something. And we were like, okay, we really have to like clean this out and like make this into Luna's bedroom, and like that's what we did. But I even kind of felt like it was just like this kind of like weird, like unfamiliar space or whatever, like when I would go in there to like put her to bed.
That's true.
So I understand if she kind of was like put off by it or whatever. So maybe this will help.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I guess we'll find out, huh?
Yeah, we'll see tonight.
You got her on the ring?
Yeah.
Let me see. Pull up that ring.
There wasn't like a great spot to put the ring in this new room, so I put it in like the closet on some diaper boxes. We have to figure out some better situation for like tomorrow.
Huh.
I just didn't want it on the floor because I didn't want her to like grab it and like play with it and stuff.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what do you want to talk about today, babe? Let's start the podcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I mean, we could talk about this game I just bought.
We're super entertaining. We're super good at podcasts.
Fuck if I know.
I just saw this in Am I the Asshole because I was looking up like Am I the Asshole?
Oh, right on.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, let's read it.
Okay. Am I the asshole for limiting financial support to my daughter, who is 23, female, upon finding out that she wants to live child-free? And he said, I have 2 children, a son who is 26, who was recently married and plans to have children, and a daughter who is 23 who is still studying. Before she told me she plans to live child-free, I offered to help her financially in buying a car, as I did with my son a couple years earlier. However, now that I know she doesn't plan to have children, I feel like the money will be much better spent helping my son with buying an apartment, which he plans to in some time.
Buying an apartment?
Yeah.
Do you buy an apartment?
I don't know.
I don't know if that's possible.
Maybe he just means, like...
You can buy like a condo, I guess.
Maybe he just means like,
I guess you can buy
helping
you can
him
buy
out,
individual rooms in an apartment.
like helping him out with like rent or whatever. Maybe that's what he meant. I don't know.
So he doesn't want to give his daughter any cash because she's not going to give him any grandkids.
Yeah, basically. There's more if you want me to read it.
Yeah, keep going.
He said, my reasoning is that the humble wealth I have accumulated over the years, thanks to my hard work, I only could do because of my parents' financial contribution to my education. So I would like to pass to future generations to help them going into life as well. I feel like supporting my daughter anywhere beyond the level of living a decent life would be a waste, because she won't pass it forward like my parents did to me. On the other hand, supporting my son would mean increased life quality for his family and his children, allowing the wealth to flow the generations and improve my grandchildren's future.
When people say humble wealth, it makes me think they're really rich.
Yeah.
This guy sounds like he's rich. Just like the way he's talking.
Yeah.
And rich people are always really concerned about legacy too. Like they really care about like the family bloodline and shit. It's got rich white man written all over it.
Sure, yeah.
All right, keep going.
My daughter, however, is very unhappy with my decision because she obviously would want a car. She says I promised, which I did, but under different circumstances. She says it's unfair because my son doesn't have children yet as well, but it's not really important because he plans to have them, and he is actually looking to buy an apartment for the family. I just don't want to indulge my daughter's wishes to get a car when my son clearly needs the money more to make his family's life better.
Like, if you told your daughter that you're going to buy her a car, did he specifically state when he told her that she needs to plan on having children in the future for him to buy her a car? Probably not.
Yeah, he's probably just like assuming.
That's so stupid. This guy's dumb. What do you think?
I mean... First of all, like, I don't think anyone is entitled to, like, anyone's money.
Unless someone promises to get you something. Then you literally are entitled. Because if they told you they would do it, you're, like, entitled by their, like, word.
I guess.
He's totally went back on his, like, word. Just because he felt like it.
I mean...
What a douche.
I don't think, like, I would necessarily have this, like, reaction. Like, if, like... I think me, like, if I was him or whatever, I guess I would just, like, buy my daughter the car or whatever. But I probably wouldn't, like, help her out, like, after or whatever, maybe.
You
like
feel
if I was this guy, like, if I had this, like, idea. And I do, like, see what he means, because, like, I do think just, like, people who have kids... Like, if you are, like, actively taking care of children and, like, have children who live, like, in your house, like, you need more, like, help than, like, somebody who doesn't. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's kind of like, if I was, like...
You can live, like, pretty cheap when you're single.
Yeah. Like, if I was, like, just some, like, wealthy old guy or whatever, like this guy is, and, like, I had 2 kids and, like, one of my children had kids and then the other one didn't, like, I would definitely, like, would rather spend money on the one who did have kids,
Yeah.
And, like, help them out. It makes sense.
Yeah, I guess I just don't really, like, see it like that. It's more just like, I'm not really thinking about it in terms of, like, the legacy or like the bloodline.
I mean, I'm not thinking about it in like the legacy or the bloodline either. It's just like,
Because like the other guy doesn't even have kids yet. It's like just like the idea, like he might be infertile.
yeah.
Like a lot of men are.
Yeah, but I guess like he's married and like him and his wife like plan.
It's just
on
like
having
weirdly
kids.
controlling. It's like using your money to like control like the actions of your children.
I mean, I don't necessarily see it like that. You can have like,
It's like you better fulfill your biological purpose, you ungrateful bitch, or I'm cutting you off.
I mean,
It's pretty harsh. It's pretty like, I don't know, psychotic almost.
I mean, yeah.
You should just treat your children
That's
equally.
one way to see it. I don't.
Like regardless of their life choices, you know?
I mean,
Like if you're going to give one kid money, you should give like the equal amount of money to the other kid.
no, I definitely disagree with that. Like 110%.
Like,
I'm not thinking about it in like a legacy.
yeah, I guess there's like exceptions.
I'm not thinking about it in like a legacy bloodline. Like, oh, this is really important to me that like my kids have kids. So like, I don't like if I'm kind of like, I mean, obviously I can't read this guy's mind or whatever, but like, I don't think it doesn't sound like he's coming at it from like, oh, like I am trying to force you into reproducing because I really want a grandbaby from you or whatever, like, so I'm gonna force you, you know, through like financial means or whatever. Like, that's not what I'm getting. I'm getting just like, you know, just like logistically like a lot, like it's just true that like people who have kids need more financial support. So if like you're not like,
But they doesn't even have kids yet. Like that's the thing. That's like the part that weirds me out.
well, he says he's like planning on having kids.
Yeah, I mean a lot of people plan for a lot of stuff. Like it's still like a ways away.
I think for like a lot of people, especially like older people, like just like making like the hard and fast decision like, oh, I'm not having kids is like really weird. I think it's weird, and I don't think it's right. And like,
sounds like immature.
but
like she'll probably like you know, go back on that. She probably just hasn't like met the right person yet.
yeah,
And even if she does like make that decision like to not have
Like-
kids, like she'll probably like regret it.
like I'm not gonna like when I like if I'm in the position when I'm older and like my kids are like grown up or whatever.
Yeah.
If I'm in the position where I have like money or like extra cash or whatever, like, and say I have one kid who has kids and one who doesn't, I'm 100% helping out my kid who has kids.
Yeah, but they already
Like, I'm
yeah,
not-
like
like,
there's
I'm
already
not-
kids that exist though. Like I'm not
I'm
gonna
not
like
gonna,
preemptively
like-
like decide like where my money goes like based on like the idea that like one kid is following my wishes right now and planning on doing something that I want them to do and the other one's not. It's like, yeah, like once there is a kid, like I would allocate more of my money to that family because there's another person. But I wouldn't like preemptively like start that before that like that's even reality yet. Just seems like controlling and like manipulative and like using your money like to like get what you want.
Well, I mean, like,
You shouldn't use your money to like control people you love.
I mean, it doesn't sound
like a
like he's
slippery
using
slope.
it to like control her. I mean, it's just kind of like
It's
she's
manipulative.
she's an adult. Like, she can like, you know, decide like she can kind of like, you know, she doesn't have to have kids just because her dad isn't gonna give her
he
money.
like promised her that he would get her a car and then like went back on the promise.
Like, she can decide like, you know, like, oh, like, is it like should I tell my dad that like I'm gonna have I want to have kids again, like so he buys me a car, or like not, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would just lie. Be like, yeah, Dad, I'm totally planning on having kids. And then I get the car and be like, fuck you. That's what I would do.
Wow, that's pretty like shitty.
No, because he already promised the car. Like, it's shitty to like go back on your promise.
Yeah, I guess
It's her car by right. Like, he promised her that he would do it. It's basically like he's just stealing from her at this point.
That's an interesting take.
Like, people need to like keep to their word. That's all we have in this world. Like, if you're not like a man of your word or a man of honor, then like, what are you? You're just like a vessel for like emotions and like this and just like, yeah, just like you're just like kind of swayed by whichever way the wind blows. I don't like that. It bothers me when people say one thing and then like do another.
Yeah, I just guess like
He didn't explain it to her, like the parameters.
Well, I guess he was just kind of like assuming, which yeah, I guess you like shouldn't like assume.
When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me.
Literally. That was a weird noise. Did you hear that?
Yeah, it's just the house settling, babe.
Okay.
Alyssa is always scared someone's in the house. Someone's inside the house. Ah!
I have PTSD.
Oh, yeah.
One time there literally was someone inside the house.
Yeah, right. That's true. Multiple times. Yeah, his dad sounds like a fucking stupid idiot. Not into this guy. But yeah, the daughter is definitely like immature too for like, I don't know. People who like don't have kids or say they don't want to have kids just kind of weird me out. Like I don't get it. You know, maybe it's completely valid. You know, maybe that's just like their journey, their path or whatever. And maybe they, you know, something's wrong in their brain. I don't know. Like maybe something is, maybe there's a reason they shouldn't have kids. You know, we shouldn't force people to have kids. Like if people don't want to have kids, like that's fine with me. It's just, you know, strange. I don't understand it. You know?
Yeah, I just think it's like immaturity, and like it's because we live in this like society that like really just like demonizes like doing anything that's difficult and like being uncomfortable. Like if you say like, oh, like I'm not gonna have kids, like I'm gonna be child free, like you're basically just saying like, oh, like I'm just gonna live my life like on easy mode like the whole time.
Yeah.
Like you're just like, you know,
Life's about taking responsibility and stepping up. Not like about just slacking
it's
off.
like before you have kids, I feel like you're kind of like still like a teenager almost. You're kind of like in your like adolescent like phase.
Yeah, most people end up having kids at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, typically. But yeah, there's certain people who like don't have kids and you're just like, damn, like that's so weird. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as they get older, you're just like something's like, yeah, like wrong with them, like, or something like they're emotionally stunted or something. Like they're just like can't give up their like youth. Like they have to like even though they're old now, it's like kind of like sad because there's so much potential in having children. It's so fulfilling and rewarding. I mean, it's like the most like rewarding and like life-giving thing you can ever do, and it's kind of difficult to like illustrate to people because like you don't really understand it until you've done it.
Yeah.
It's like you can say how great it is, but people are like, oh yeah, you know, that's just like you, man, but I'm different or whatever. But it's like you can't really know. You know, it's like walking into a dark room, you know, and just like being like, oh, it sucks in here, you know, because it's so dark. But like it's like you have to flip on the light just like see what's in there.
Yeah, I remember like before I had kids, like I used to just like care about like the stupidest stuff or whatever, or I'd be like, or like even like when I was first pregnant with Luna, like I was always kind of like I had thoughts like that, or like, oh, like man, like I'm not gonna get to do this or that, like, or, you know, because I'm like pregnant and having a baby, like I'm gonna be like a mom, I have to be like responsible or whatever, and like now I'm just like, oh, like everything else just seems so lame, like in comparison to having Luna.
Yeah.
Like
people always like ask me if I was like nervous to have a kid or like if I was anxious or whatever, or like, are you freaking out? And like I never felt that way. Like. I guess that's like a common thing people feel like when they hear their like girlfriend's pregnant. But yeah, like we planned it that way. Like I wanted to have a kid and we did it on purpose.
Yeah.
And then like the whole pregnancy, it was just like very typical, like, you know, like what you'd expect from a pregnancy, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I was nervous that maybe something would go wrong, you know, but I know that, you know, typically that's not the case. Like most likely, you know, you're healthy, like strong person, like, you know, we have good odds that things are going to go well. So other than that, I wasn't like, yeah, like paranoid about becoming a dad. Like I was just excited, you know, like it's super like cool. Yeah. So yeah, people who like don't do that. Yeah. I just wonder like if they're like really like can never be as truly happy as like someone who does have a kid.
Yeah. That's how I feel too. Like, I just don't think they're reaching their like full potential of like joy.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like, yeah, being like comfortable is cool, or like, you know, like sleeping, like getting like sleeping whenever you want, like going out whenever you want, like just doing whatever you want, like sure, like that's cool, but like, you know, that's, you're not really gonna like feel the like profound like joy that you have like watching your kid like grow up, and like
nothing can beat having a kid and experiencing them grow up like in front of you. It's like the best. But Yeah, I feel like you also have to kind of like take a back seat. Like you can't just like try to like control your kids, especially after they're 18. Like this guy.
But that's the thing. It's like,
Seems toxic. To
yeah,
me.
exactly. Like she's 18, so like she's
So let her do what
not.
she wants. Like some
She's
people,
not
she
his
doesn't
like
want to have
financial
kids,
responsibility anymore.
Yeah.
So like
He doesn't
she's
have
not
to.
like entitled to stuff that he if he doesn't want to give it to her.
So you don't think he's the asshole?
I mean, I think like I just think it's kind of like he's not like a full asshole. Like I don't think I hate him as much as
He's
you
just
do.
an ass.
Like yeah, sure.
Not quite a hole.
It's pretty like, pretty like yeah, if he said he was going to get her a car, like yeah, that's pretty shitty, but
right.
like I just feel like I understand his like mindset and like I don't think she is entitled to a car like just because he like said.
I got a "Am I the asshole" for you if you're ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw this on Twitter a couple days ago. Am I the asshole for not having catering at my wedding? My female 28 and my fiance. Okay, it starts off with like a typo. Sorry, that's confusing. I think she meant to say me. Me, female 28, and my fiance, male 30, just got married 2 months ago, and we had our dream wedding. Everything was perfect, and I mean everything. My parents and his parents helped us pay for a great chunk of the wedding, so we would be debt-free, and we are so eternally grateful for that. The issue arose about a month and a half ago when my aunt started posting on Facebook, that's how you know it's bad, about how disappointed she was with the whole ordeal, and a few guests sided with her. Guests. Why can't I enunciate? Background: my fiance and I are huge Disney fans, and we travel to Disney World as much as we can throughout the year. Disney is such an important part, not only to us, but also to our marriage. Wow.
Okay.
The issue was with our decision to not offer catering services / bar services at our wedding due to routing the money towards having a wedding Minnie and Mickey make appearances at our special day. The cost to have both Minnie and Mickey for a good chunk of time, 30 minutes, was almost exactly what our parents allotted for our catering budget, so we scheduled an appearance during our first dance and our wedding photos, foregoing served food, though there were plenty of facilities at the venue where people could eat. My parents were still very supportive of us, but everyone else is being passive-aggressive about it on Facebook. Am I the asshole? Edit. To those asking if the guests were warned, we clearly outlined in the invitations that there was food available at the venue. We didn't exactly spell out every restaurant's menu, but it was certainly mentioned. There were also vending machines available throughout.
I'm confused about this venue. So like so they had their wedding just at like some kind of like public place, like a public area that had like restaurants and stuff.
Let's see. Yeah,
I don't know how weddings work. I didn't have one. We had like
was it like at Disney World? Like was the wedding?
No, it doesn't sound like it was at Disney World.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
So yeah, like where were people supposed to go get food?
Yeah, I don't know. That's. I don't think they're like assholes because like again like it's like their wedding, like like you don't have to come if you don't want or whatever, like that's what they wanted at their wedding. But yeah, I think that's stupid.
How do you not feed people at your wedding? That's like the number one thing you have to get right for your guests is like the food.
Yeah.
That's like stupid. Just don't have a wedding. Like if you're not gonna give people food, like everyone who's like dressed up and
that's another thing,
gone
like,
out of their way to spend the day with you.
I haven't really been to like
it's fucking insane
weddings.
I've been to like a ton of weddings, and there's always food. Like that's like the thing that people do at a wedding is they eat.
Mm-hmm.
Like besides the actual ceremony, it's like you eat and drink. Like it's a celebration. Like what do you do at a celebration? You sit around and just talk to each other.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like
why do they like love like okay? I love Disney World. I am a Disney fan. I'm a Disney adult. But like that's like taking it too far.
Yeah, they fucked up, dude. Literally, oh yeah, she says, second edit. For everyone saying that it's too much for 30 minutes, I want to clarify it was 2 30-minute sessions on different days. $2,750 was the cost for one session. So
that's fucking crazy.
Basically, to get like 2 people in costumes, like cosplay Minnie and Mickey, like come to your place.
That's literally like retarded.
$3,000.
That's honestly, that's like really, really, really silly.
I hope the costumes were good, like theme park quality level.
Like, can't you just freaking like hire some dude, like 2 people to like dress up as Mickey and Minnie?
It's not as simple as that, babe. The costumes are very expensive. if I'm thinking of the same kind of costume that they have at the actual parks, which is what I'm assuming, because it's like the official. Yeah, first of all, you'd probably get sued if you did that. You'd get a cease and desist order in the mail. But secondly, the costumes are like super high caliber, you know.
That's like really stupid.
Like you can't just buy it at a store.
I can't fathom
anywhere.
like doing that. I honestly just kind of feel like weddings are like stupid, but like this is just taking it to like a whole nother level of like stupid.
I'm confused about where they were too, because when I first read this, I thought they did it at Disney World and just expected everyone to buy food like there themselves. But like I guess it was just like somewhere else, and it says we clearly outlined in the invitations that there was food available at the venue. That makes me think that there's food that you're providing, free food, not that you have to buy your own food.
Yeah.
If I went to that wedding, I would be like, what the hell is going on? Like, what do I do with my time?
Yeah.
Like, half the time at a wedding, you spend, like, you know,
just like hanging out,
getting a plate, you know, waiting in the queue, getting your food, sitting down, talking, you know, going to the bar, getting a drink, coming back, getting more food, eating. Like, what would you do? Just mill about?
Our wedding was cool. Like, we didn't have, like, a wedding, but we got married at the courthouse, and then, like, a few weeks later, we rented an Airbnb and had like a huge party. Yeah. And we got Chick-fil-A catered. Like we got like 100 like chicken sandwiches and like 100 boxes of fries.
It was a lot. I think it might have been more than 100.
Yeah.
There was a ton left over. I think we overestimated a bit. And everyone was having like 3 or 4 sandwiches too.
Yeah.
But there was still some left over the next morning.
And then we got like
It was crazy.
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A catering was good.
And then that morning we went to Costco, like the morning of like the wedding party.
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever.
just got a bunch of alcohol.
And we just got like every type of rosé that they had.
Yeah, one of each, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tight.
It was just Chick-fil-A and rosé. Like that was all that was available.
No, we had other alcohol too.
Oh really?
Yeah, we had like all types of alcohol. Yeah.
I don't remember that. I just remember it being.
You probably just
like
stuck to the rosé.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, yeah, we had other, because you can't just serve rosé. Like that's ridiculous. Yeah, we had like bourbon and vodka and you know all the different stuff. And all that got smashed. There was no alcohol left at the end of the night. Everyone, and I was surprised. I thought we bought a lot.
Yeah.
But people went hard. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, that was like the best way to do it, I feel like.
Yeah, that was really
for
fun.
Us. Yeah, I mean sometimes, you know, I indulge myself in silly things, you know, from time to time. And then so we I understand if people want that kind of dream style wedding, you know. I won't begrudge them that.
Yeah,
it's not for me, though.
Yeah, it would be cool, you know, to have like a normal wedding too, but yeah, I just liked how we did it because like I wanted to get married, like actually married, kind of just us two. Yeah. And also like we had the whole thing with like my family lives in California and like his family lives in Missouri. So our plan was to have like a party in Missouri and then have a party in California. But then like COVID literally happened like the month after our wedding. Yeah. Like we had our wedding like the last day of February of 2020.
Yeah, I'm glad that like we didn't have it any later.
Yeah, if it was later we probably wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah, that might have been where COVID started.
Literally.
Yeah. Wait, where did it start? Didn't it start like in like
I don't know.
Like
China, right?
Some sort of Chinese city.
Yeah. With all like they're like wet markets with like all like the
Right.
dead like animals.
Was it Wuhan?
Yeah, I think so, or something
Yeah,
like
it's been
that.
a while since I've been on my COVID
I literally
news cycle.
haven't thought about COVID, like the actual disease COVID,
It's making a comeback.
in like so long.
It's coming back. Cases are up.
You know, I see
Big up.
people with like masks like every once in a while. I've been seeing like more people with masks like recently,
Yeah.
but like I'll just think about like, oh, like the masks, or like, oh, like, you know, oh yeah, we had to leave LA because they were like vaccine mandates and we had to like escape or whatever. But like
Yeah,
I
they
haven't
took it really far.
but I haven't thought about like, you know, like the actual like disease. Like I haven't worried about COVID or been like, oh, like maybe I have COVID or maybe that's COVID.
That wasn't the only reason we left LA. There was a variety of factors.
Yeah, it was also just like really expensive.
Just like the quality of living is not very high when you have children. That was the main thing.
Yeah.
But there's a variety of factors where we're like, let's just leave. Let's get out of here. We don't need to be here.
Yeah, we like just visited St. Louis and we were like, yeah, we'll just stay here. We'll just pick up all our shit and move back.
Right. All right. What else we got today, babe? What else you got for the people?
What else do I have for the people?
Yeah. What's that one? That one painting where like the dude's like eating his son or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
No. Did you see that? Like, did we talk about that? Am I the asshole about like the aesthetic house or whatever on the podcast?
I don't think so.
We talked about it like just the two of us a lot, but I don't remember if we talked about it on the podcast.
Oh, Saturn devouring his son is this painting by Spanish artist Francisco Goya. Depicts the Greek myth of the Titan Kronos, known as Saturn in Roman mythology, eating one of his offspring. After Gaia foretold a prophecy fearing that he would be overthrown by one of his children, ate each one upon their birth. Oh, wow. Look, and there's a picture. See, this is the painting. You've probably seen this painting. It's really famous.
No, I don't think I've seen that.
And someone's photoshopped over a mug with, it says, "Don't talk to me until I've had my son."
What?
Like,
That's crazy.
You know, like, do you get it?
Yeah, I get it.
It's funny because, like, you know. Wait, so what were we gonna say? What was it, another "Am I the Asshole"?
I'm trying to find one.
It was like the one you were telling me about, where like there was like a situation.
I just can't remember if we already talked about it on the podcast.
No, we just talked about it personally. I don't think we talked about it on the podcast.
It was like this guy whose like wife has like an Instagram. She's like Instagram famous.
Yeah, she's got like 400,000 followers.
Yeah, and
he's
like
divorcing her.
Well,
big mistake.
He's like,
if your wife has 400,000 followers on Instagram, keep her around. That's a pro tip for you guys.
Yeah, that's the only reason to keep your wife around.
It's one of them.
Not, you know, because you made a commitment to her or anything like that.
That's a big reason though to keep her around. I mean, if you're thinking about reasons to leave her, it's like, you know, make a pros and cons list. Like, reasons I want to leave my wife. She's anal about the aesthetics of her house. Like, oh no, she likes to keep a clean house.
Yeah,
like,
that was something else that like Forrest was like really like. I'll just tell you, like, she really cares about the aesthetics of their house because it's like it's like really curated for her Instagram. Like, she like always wants to take photos and stuff. And I guess like he feels like he can't like live in his own house basically. Like, he can't do anything, or, you know, like he'll like try to like make like a pillow fort with like for his daughter. Like, they have like a 5-year-old, or not a 5-year-old, like a way smaller baby, like Luna's age baby, and he was like, oh, like I can't even make a pillow fort with my daughter because like that's gonna ruin this aesthetic.
He's just got to make it like an aesthetic pillow fort for her gram.
And then like the last straw or whatever was, I guess, like she was taking her first steps and he was holding a drink and he like set it down on the coffee table or something, like while his daughter was like taking her first steps, because I guess he wanted to like have his hands free or whatever. and she like flipped out on him and like started a fight about it and was like, "You're ruining my photos," like, or whatever. And then so yeah, now he wants to like leave her, and
it's very odd that he would want to leave her over such small things.
Yeah, I think like leaving her is definitely like unacceptable.
Like something else going on, like he's cheating on her, or he wants to cheat on her, or something else is happening there.
Yeah.
And he's trying to use this like aesthetic, anal retentive thing that she does, like as like this like out. Like, actually, it's your fault because you did this. It's like, oh, or you could just not give a fuck, like just go about your life. Like, what? I put my coffee mug down. Like, deal with it.
Yeah, that's how I feel like he should have like responded to the situation. Like, I'm just gonna live in my house,
You can move it if you want. Like, yeah, like it's not up to me to like, always embrace your aesthetic constantly.
And I was saying that like I feel like a kind of a good, because obviously she wants to keep up her like Instagram, like that's a really cool thing. And then but like I feel like maybe they can just like set a time, like a few hours a day or whatever, where like everything is like perfectly curated for her Instagram, and then like all the other times of the day they can just be normal. Because it's like you can't just like force your whole family to like work your job like for you.
Sure you can. People have done it for thousands of years.
Well, they didn't like consent to it, and especially not
Do
the
farmer kids consent to raising and slaughtering livestock and mowing grass and like cultivating the harvest?
Well, I don't think it's right to like start a fight with your husband like while your daughter's taking her first steps, like over a coffee cup like on the table. Like I think that's pretty psycho. Like really psycho.
We have to remember this is him describing the events.
I know. I get that.
And he's saying like, "Oh, she's my wife, man. She's such a bitch."
Whenever we read Am I the Assholes and stuff, like, and I'm giving my opinion about these situations, like, please like acknowledge that I understand that it's coming from like one side. But I'm just saying, like, if he's right, like, if this is like he's telling the story like completely, like,
we have to take him at his word.
Yeah,
we have to take it at face value.
Yeah, if he's being honest, and what I mean, like stuff like that. Like,
I just know how men are. I know how they operate, and they always blame women for their own fucking their own shortcomings. And it's like, no, bro, you're the problem. Fix yourself. Get over it. It's because like men don't want to stand up to women, like they feel bossed around, so like instead of like just being like, no, I'm not gonna do what you say, like deal with it, they're like, oh, like she's such a bitch, she forces me to do this and forces me to do that, and like I can't have any fun, or yada yada yada. It's always about blaming her instead of being like, oh, like actually I need to stop being such a bitch and stand up for myself. Like, I know how these guys operate. And, like, most people are like this.
Yeah, I definitely, like, agree with you about that. Like, yeah, they should just, like, yeah, like, if it were me, or if I was, like, some dude or whatever, and this was happening to me, I would just, like, not listen to her.
Yeah.
And just be like, this is my house. Like, I live here.
I feel like he should be more supportive.
And I would try to, like, negotiate, like, some situation. Because, like, another thing he was saying was that, like, they're not, like, she's really particular about, like, every like toy that their daughter has, and like her room, like, and like every toy that she has to be like curated to this aesthetic, has to be all like beige and like neutral and cream colors or whatever.
Look at the beige baby. Look at him in his little beige clothing.
And and then so he can't,
isn't he a marvel?
So she always says no, like when he like he just shoots, like she shoots down like all of his like toy, like things that he wants to buy his daughter, and then like I guess like his mom like bought her stuff, and like she just like was like, oh well, like she has to keep it at her house or whatever, like we don't have
that's not coming in this house.
Yeah,
that's junk.
And it was basically just because it was like not beige or whatever, you know what I mean.
That is not a hand carved wooden duckling with old-timey spindly wheels attached to the bottom, so I will not accept, and a little drawstring to pull it along. So I will not be accepting it in this home.
Yeah, exactly. So I just
That
feel
came
like,
from Target.
I think if he was like doing the right thing, he could like just, obviously stay with her. Like, don't just leave her. That's ridiculous. But like, just
Pisses me off.
don't.
Dude. A man who leaves his family over his wife having a successful online career that could literally fund their like life, like through sponsorships and ads and stuff, and then also he gets a clean house out of it too, like a clean, well curated house. Like, too many guys would like kill for that position. That's a great situation to be in, and all you got to do is just not put your coffee mug down, your gross coffee mug with your dirty little grubby fingerprints all over it.
Like, like.
Just put it. Figure out some. Just stop. Just drink it and put it in the dishwasher.
The thing is though, like, I just feel like if you were in this position, if I was like, if I had like a, this many followers on Instagram and I was like this and I was like a super freak about an aesthetic and having everything be extremely clean, you would not.
No, I would.
Like,
I'd be into it
because
I have my
hate when I tell
situation
you
downstairs.
what to do.
I have my man cave where my rules go, but your rules are the upstairs. Like you each have areas of the house you control.
If I started a fight with you, like while like Luna was taking her first steps, because you set your drink down to like watch Luna take her first steps, like I ruined. This woman like ruined, according to this thing, if he's being honest. She ruined this like really like meaningful, exciting like moment in their family.
Well, he ruined everyone's entire lives by trying to get a divorce.
Well, that was after she like
it's
ruined.
Like big deal, get over it, crybaby.
He kind of like realized like, oh shit, like she's like literally crazy. Like I'm not gonna be able to have.
Yeah, he said he's like tried to take her to like counseling about it or something.
Yeah.
I wish we had the actual text, but
it was like on TikTok or something.
TikTok, yeah.
But like I just feel like if I told you not to put like a coffee mug down or something, you would like absolutely lose your shit.
Well, yeah, like I wouldn't leave you though.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't leave me, but like you're basically just telling him like you're basically just saying like, yeah, just don't put your coffee down. Yeah, just like obey her crazy like psycho demands.
Suck it up. Stop being crazy.
But like I just know that if we were in this situation, you would absolutely not.
No, I would support you. If you had 400,000 followers on Instagram and our house was like beautifully, immaculately decorated and curated to the nth degree, like it sounds like this woman's house was, I would be very supportive of that.
I just feel like there could be like some like type of like negotiation that they can have where it's like, okay, well, we can like our kid can have these like unaesthetic toys, but maybe like, she has to keep them in like a closet or something. Like
that's never gonna work
for this allotted time a day that you're like working and like taking pictures to post. And then it's like, it's like she's gonna have to do like extra work every day by like every morning or like every time that she wants to like start her little photo shoots. Like she's gonna have to go and like redo her house, like or whatever. But it's like that's just kind of like life. Like you can't just like expect like your kids to like live in like an Instagram perfect like curated like world. Like that's like I just feel like that's psycho.
I mean, we're all psychos, I make Lego videos for a living. None of this makes any sense.
Like it's almost like you're just choosing.
We have to find ways to support ourselves and our families.
You're like choosing like an aesthetic like over like your child.
Not really. It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like they still spend time with it. It's like obviously she watches the kid. Like I don't know what he does.
Well, you can like watch the kid and like also be like not like being like the best like version of like yourself that you can be, or like giving your kid like the best experience possible. I just like don't even see how this is even like works for her, because like okay, our house is not curated like at all. Like it's just very like normal house, and like whenever I like clean or like organize like at all while Luna is like awake, it's a destroyed like in like immediately. Like I organized our like drawers the other day, and I like folded all my like clothes and put them in my drawers.
That's because we don't have like child safe drawers.
Luna like literally like she like walked in and just like took all my stuff and threw it on the floor. We need to
find some sort of like solution. I bought these like child proofing like things. I don't know if they'll work on that specific drawer you're talking about.
Yeah.
They work on like cabinets.
Like, I just like don't get like how you can have like a perfectly curated life like if you have a toddler. Like toddlers like just don't, like if you guys don't have kids, you might be like thinking like, oh, just like, you know, tell Luna not to do that, like just punish her if she does. But like toddlers like don't have like the mental ability,
yeah, kids are messy.
like
they make
to
messes. Yeah.
listen to you or like to follow rules.
Yeah, she probably spends a lot of time like every day like cleaning up after her kid and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like crazy to me that he would like break up his family and like
Yeah,
put his
that's, like,
daughter through that.
Yeah.
And then what really bothered me was like people in the comments were like siding with him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're siding with this man who's so much of a coward that he can't even stand up to his wife, that he blames her and tears the family apart. Over what? It's not even like she's like cheating on him or like
yeah, I definitely
abusing
don't,
the kid
yeah.
or like she's not doing anything that would warrant
and
a
he
divorce.
said something that I really disagreed with. He was like, I'm not gonna force my child to like live in like an aesthetic or something. But it's like when you like divorce like somebody,
Yeah, he's gonna force his kid to live in the divorce aesthetic.
well, yeah.
2 rooms.
Well, yeah, like divorce is obviously like bad, just like in general for kids. Like obviously, it's really selfish to get a divorce.
It really pissed me off. Like he's the victim, and then everyone in the comments was like, you know, it just feeds into this whole idea that like, you know, social media is toxic, and I constantly hear this narrative that people like hate the internet and social media is tearing us apart and making us further apart from each other than ever before. And it's like not true at all. Like all my best friends like I've met, all the best experiences I've had in my life or have like been through like social media, and like they've led to like great opportunities and like experiences and like connections with like real humans that like wouldn't have been possible without it.
Like the
People
thing
need to stop
is
being
like
so negative
when
about social media.
When you have like, when you divorce somebody and like now it's like unless they were like literally like abusive, like physically abusive, and you have like proof that they like hit you or whatever, like it's like 100% guaranteed that you're gonna have to like share custody like with the other parent. And it's like you don't want your kid to grow up like in an aesthetic or whatever, but it's kind of like now it's like you're like leaving your kid like with the other parent alone for like at least like 50% of the time or whatever. It's like now it's like I just thought that was stupid. Like, yeah, he didn't make any sense with like the whole divorce
Yeah, people
thing.
are so like vindictive and like fucking like I don't even know what the word is, but like I saw in the comments people are like, yeah, I'm just imagining like the look on her face when she realizes that she can't post like wholesome family content anymore because you're gone. Like, ew.
Yeah.
Like this is
Like
the kind
what?
of attitude people
Like
have.
this
Like
is like someone's
this is
like
the
real
woman
life. Like this is
yeah.
like this little girl's like real life. Like
This is
you
what
know
I'm talking
I
about though.
mean?
Like people like hate women.
Yeah.
Like men hate women because they're not getting any pussy, and then women hate women because they're competitive with each other. So like whenever there's a chance to beat up on a woman, people love to take that fucking low road and just like that like opportunity to fucking like throw rocks at her basically. It's like this is from this guy's perspective. He's describing how he's leaving his family because he's a little bitch, and then people are like, men and women in the comments are like supporting him. It's so crass and ugly.
Yeah.
It's like the Amber Heard thing. Like
Forrest is obsessed with Amber Heard. He loves her. He'll go on whole rants about how she was in the right.
no, I they're both assholes. That's the takeaway from the trial. They're both like just immature, spoiled celebrities. But people took this opportunity to just like rag on Amber Heard so hard.
Yeah,
and
that
love
was
Johnny,
embarrassing.
and it's super embarrassing.
Yeah, Forrest had someone like DM him or something about Amber Heard.
Yeah, and they're like, I just want to see her burn.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Like this is like some like Salem witch trial type shit. People just love like people just hate like women. Like it's just like it sucks to sometimes to be a woman because like women have so much power and men know it. So like it like makes them envious, I guess. And then other women, see it too. So anytime there's like a powerful woman, it just like pisses people off. It's not the same way for a powerful man. You get like more respect. There's like the downsides to being a man too, but like there's just something about like people like human nature where we like go after women in our society, and I don't like it. I see it's like sticky fingerprints like all over this situation.
Yeah, I think it's like divorce is like really fucked up. Like I just don't think you should. There's like ever a valid reason to get a divorce, like unless like you're being like physically like abused and you're like scared for like your physical safety and stuff.
Yeah, like if your husband or wife is like out whoring around, you know, that's like putting you in under physical danger too, because like they could be exposing you to like STDs.
Well, I mean, you don't have to fuck them, but like I just feel like if you have kids, you should like do everything in your power to like make it work.
Yeah, I think people give up too easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just divorce has become so normalized in our culture.
Yeah, like the like no fault divorce or whatever. Like just like, you know, you don't have to prove anything bad happened. It was just kind of like, you know, I mean, divorce is okay if you don't have kids. Like that's different. Like that's just like you're putting it on like your own like record or whatever. Like you were like divorced. But I just feel like if you have a child with somebody, like, you know, it's just like you're not giving them the best like chance at life.
Yeah, I
like,
mean, if you're always fighting and always
divorce.
bickering, I mean, and, you know, and you just cannot resolve your differences, like I feel like in certain cases it might be more beneficial to like have the kid not grow up in a household like that.
But then you or your partner like or both of you are just like not trying hard enough to like make
some people
this
just don't have like
work.
the mental
Well, like
awareness.
that's just not really like an excuse. Like you can like have the mental awareness like if you wanted to, but you're
No,
like
but
choosing
babe,
like
some people are just dumb.
you're choosing like the lazy like dumb like route out, and like
I'm
your
saying
kids are
divorce is
and
a good
your kids
option
are
for some
paying
people.
for it.
Not
like
the majority of people, and I'm saying that there's certain people who just shouldn't be married.
I just feel like there's certain people who are just like
And
yeah, like they're dumb or whatever.
they're not going to
like
get it better too. They're not just going to wake up suddenly and realize like, oh, we got to make this work. They're just going to like be petty and just argue and bicker like wild wolves.
Well, that doesn't mean that like they should get a divorce. Like that just means that they should improve themselves. And like
But
that's
some people are just too far
that's
gone.
kind of like one thing
and it's
too.
not good. It's not good for the kids to be around like constantly like bickering parents.
I mean, it's also like not good for the kids to be like their security like to be completely stolen from them and like have like two separate houses.
yeah,
Like that, like it's just like I think like I saw a quote one time and it was kind of like being like staying married or like being in a committed relationship, it's less about like being committed to like the other person, and it's more about being committed like to yourself and like, you know, like trying to like make like do your best and like, you know, like have, yeah, exactly, just like doing your best and like following through on like your word, because like when you get married you like literally it's like you vow to like the other person that you're like you give them your word that like you're gonna be with them forever, like until one of you dies,
right.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, people just like go back on their words so lightly.
Yeah,
like
so,
that guy with the car, like he's just like, oh, I said this, but like I don't feel like it anymore.
Yeah, so it's kind
so
of
it's
like,
just like, how are you gonna trust this guy for anything ever again in the future?
yeah, so it's like when you like get married, like it's more of like a promise like that you're gonna like, or yeah, you're like staying committed like to yourself that like, you know, you're gonna make this work, or like you're gonna do everything in your power to like make this relationship work, like even if the other person like is falling short, like, you know what I mean? Like it's not always about like your personal happiness, like it's about like, you know, being like living like a meaningful like life, you know what I mean?
I read like an interesting statistic the other day that said like it was like 75% of marriages are ended by women.
I thought it was like 80%.
Was it 80-20?
And then it was like 90% if the woman has a college education or something.
It's usually the women who leave the men.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a divorce situation. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's because women have just like more options.
More like immediate options, I guess.
Yeah, like men. I also saw a statistic that it was like there was some study and it was like men find like 60% of women attractive and women only find like 15% of men attractive.
Oh, that's really funny. 60%?
Yeah.
It's kind of high.
Yeah, like basically like men will just kind of like, because they kind of have to have lower standards because they're like men, like that's just kind of like the nature
We'll take what we can get.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously.
But women have like more options. Like they can afford to be like pickier and stuff because like more men like want to fuck them or whatever.
Right. That makes sense.
But then like men like cheat more in relationships.
Right. So a lot of times it's like the man cheats and the woman leaves.
Yeah.
Right. It's like one action is led by another.
Yeah.
Yeah. So men will want to cheat and be like, oh, let's go to counseling. Let's forget about it. Let's move. We can move past this, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never do it again. Ah.
Yeah, that's bait.
Ah.
But then like also a lot of women like will stop like fucking their husbands and stuff.
Right.
Which kind of like leads to cheating.
That's true.
There's like a lot of things that happen. A lot of things have to happen. Like
That's what you started doing.
In like a marriage.
We haven't had sex in years.
Yeah, we don't fuck ever.
Yeah, ever.
Mm-mm.